Looking for Staghorn Sumac to make sumac tea or sumac lemonade out of is quite easy around Berks County. Just look for any side of the road where this supposedly junk plant is growing and you'll find it. For example, here I am just standing by the side of the road at an interchange on Route 222 and we see some Queen Anne's lace, and then right here we see some wild grapes. Queen Anne's lace, you can eat the root if you're so inclined. It's wild carrot. The grape leaves you can stuff and make stuffed grape leaves out of. And moving over further amidst the crown vetch and stuff, we have the actual Staghorn Sumac. So you go up to the Staghorn Sumac and you use the clippers and you just go ahead and clip off. About 24 is what I clip off of these spear tips. And then I put them in a paper bag and I take them home and I begin the brewing process. Hi, Dave Klein here for Berks Country Magazine for the Mountain Folklore column. There's all kinds of great things you can harvest in the summertime. Staghorn Sumac is something that is productive from midsummer till fall. As long as the berries are bright red, like this particular spear, you can harvest them for an old Native American beverage called Staghorn Sumac lemonade or Staghorn Sumac tea. It's called lemonade because the chemicals that are in the Staghorn Sumac spear are very similar to the chemicals in a lemon. So in fact, while most people nowadays think of Staghorn Sumac as a pest plant, a nuisance plant, the Native Americans actually thought of it as a very, very productive plant. They would harvest this, they'd put it with water, they'd brew the tea or lemonade, they'd put it in a container, a vessel of some sort, set it in an ice cold stream somewhere to cool it all down, and then before you know it, they'd have a fabulous beverage to enjoy. Now some folks sweeten it with honey or stevia. I use Sweet and Low or Splenda or sugar. It's totally up to you, and some folks don't sweeten it at all and they like that real citrusy, bittery taste. This is what you do. We've harvested it from the plant as you saw in the first clip. Then you take your cutters and you just cut off what's called the spear tip. And you can discard the rest of the plant. Take the spear tip. I use about 12 of these per 1 gallon container. Now, I prefer glass, but I happen to have a plastic 1 gallon container here. The Staghorn Sumac, the tip itself, the spear tip, is loaded with tiny little berries. And you can see, here they are. Here's the little berries. Now, these berries are not poisonous. This is important for you to know because some people are concerned about this. I'm very, very allergic to poison ivy and poison sumac. I always have been since I'm a little boy. I wouldn't get anywhere near this if this were poison sumac or poison ivy. This is more related to the cashew tree family, believe it or not. Staghorn Sumac. There is a poisonous form of sumac. The way you can tell the difference is Staghorn Sumac has this red tip or spear, and the poisonous sumac has a white cluster of berries. You want to stay away from that. But with any plant material that you're harvesting from the outdoors, you want to just test a little bit at a time to make sure you're not allergic to it, because some people might have a peanut allergy, and because this is related to cashews and nuts, you might have a problem with that. So again, caution is always your advisory word. So you take about 12 of these and you put them in a 1 gallon container, glass or plastic like this, put them in there, fill it up with your favorite tap water, spring water, water from the hose, whatever you choose to use. I'm doing it out in the garden. Fill it up, close it up, and that's all you need to do. Let it out in the sun for 4 hours. By the time 4 hours is up, you'll have a fabulous, fabulous brew. What I want to tell you to do is don't take it inside and try to brew it over a hot stove. If you use hot water to make this brew, it actually makes a very bitter, bitter taste. It releases some things and properties in the plant that you don't want to have released. So you brew it in cold water. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you just take your time. 4 hours in the sun is all you need to have. Let it sit out. 4 hours later, you're going to have a fabulous brew. Then you have to strain it off using a tea strainer into another container, sweeten it to your taste, and there you go. So let's show the straining process in the next clip. And here we go, the final stage to making Staghorn Sumac tea or lemonade. So we put our 12 spears or so of Staghorn Sumac into a glass or like this, a plastic 1 gallon container. We filled it with water and we let it brew in the sun for 4 hours with the lid on. That's all it takes, 4 hours. After 4 hours, you're ready to go. You can pour it off into another 1 gallon container that's empty. As a matter of fact, I use 2 of these 1 gallon containers to pour off into a separate 1 gallon container. So 2 of these for me makes 1 gallon of finished product. Now some people I know actually just take right from their container with the sumac still in it, and they'll pour off some that they want through a sieve like this. This is a teased strainer. And then they'll just keep putting water in it until it doesn't suit their taste anymore, till it becomes too weak. They actually get a lot of mileage out of this. This is a potent plant. But this is basically how you do it, whether you do it into a glass or whether you do it into another 1 gallon container. You take it and you gently pour through the sieve, through the strainer, into your glass. Okay, let that strain out. And here again you can see all these lovely berries. This is what this turns into. All these great little berries. Okay? Take that, close this back up. Now in our gardens we have mint tea growing as well. You could put some mint tea in here. Normally you would let this cool in the refrigerator till it's refrigerator temperature because it's much more refreshing that way. Or you could put some ice in it just like you would any tea. But look at the gorgeous color. Look at that gorgeous color of this Staghorn Sumac lemonade and tea. Okay, and it's perfectly fine to drink. Oh man, it's really, really good. No, just kidding. As I said earlier, I'm really allergic to poison ivy and poison sumac. This is Staghorn Sumac. This is not poisonous, but it is related to the cashew family. So as again, a warning, before you harvest or drink any wild plant, whether it's a root, a leaf, a flower, or in this case, something brewed from it, make sure that you taste just a wee little bit first and make sure you don't have a reaction, because people who are allergic to peanuts may actually have a reaction to Staghorn Sumac because it is related to the cashew plant. But you put a little bit of sugar in here. If you're interested, sugar, honey, stevia. If you're diabetic, you could use sweet and low. I like to use Splenda. For my taste, what I do is for a 1 gallon container, I put a 1/4 cup of Splenda in here, and then shake it up, chill it down, and I have a great beverage. But in this case, like some people do, they just drink it plain like this, and it really does taste really, really good. It's very refreshing. That's the way the Native Americans did it, and it's growing all around us here in Berks County. So why not get back with this tradition? It's absolutely fabulous. For Berks Country Magazine and the Mountain Folklore column, this is Dave Klein.